Hey everybody, this is Muffin with the Daily Biker Podcast. Just here to let y'all know the opinions and ideas expressed in this show are those of the hosts and their guests, not to be confused with their partners and sponsors. Now, let's get it on.
Hey guys, this is Sean from the Bikes and Beards YouTube channel, and you guys are listening to the Daily Biker Podcast. You're gonna love it.
I wouldn't know about that. Hey!
Yeah, I'm not going to do that.
Easy. Easy. You can let that down.
There you go.
I've got hydraulics on that thing.
Oh. It's bougie.
Yeah. It's a full room. We can do this now that this is fine now.
This office feels very good now.
So does so much better.
So does mine, I have to say.
Yeah. Well, we had to do it in that steps because a lot of the junk that was in your office somehow got brought into here.
Well, as I was cleaning, I had a little bit of help, and I would hand somebody something, and I didn't realize they were just bringing it in here. And then a couple days later, I said, Marcus, we need to clean your office. I said, if you want help, I'll help you, right? Feels good to get it cleaned. Yeah. And he's like, oh, no, not today, not today. Blah, blah, blah. And then he comes in like an hour later, and he's like, would you help me with it today? For sure. Let's get it clean.
Well, I just sat there and stewed, like looking around at the mess. I was like, oh, it needs to be taken care of. Yeah. And I thought I would feel awkward with, like, not with the wall being directly in front of me.
I think it's fine.
I don't
It's fine because you have space here.
No. You guys, I will occasionally get up, change camera angles. Just ignore me, do your thing.
So, hey everybody, welcome back to the Daily Biker Podcast. Jeez. My name is Marcus and I'm your clueless leader. Today we're going to go on an exciting learning journey. Daniel is not here with us. If you listen to last week's episode, you know he went out of town for Thanksgiving with his family, but he delivered y'all a very special message. But as always, returning, I say as always, like you're always here. You do miss episodes. I do have Miss Muffin.
It's rare that I miss episodes, but hey y'all.
I've got our go-to gear guy, Ryan.
Hi, what's up?
I've got Miss Know-It-All T.
Know-It-All T.
And I've got the always famous, most popular YouTuber ever in existence,
Right.
Mr. Ty Cooper, Ty from Tennessee.
Yeah. Hello.
I think some of my listeners would agree with that because we have a lot of crossover.
That we do. Yeah, we do. You even brought me out of my Thanksgiving holiday break to make a video out of it. So,
Yeah. I don't think you're complaining though.
No.
Because I think you've been spending time with family for the past couple of days, and it's like
so nice.
I'm gonna go just do motorcycle stuff for a little bit.
Yeah, it's been so far about 2 or 3 months of no YouTube.
Yeah,
I get used to that.
So on the no YouTube thing, you know, we had that conversation recently because you've taken a step away from content creation.
Yep.
But you and I had a conversation about content creation and algorithms and those types of things.
Oh yeah.
And about even, you know, just every once in a while throwing out a short out there on YouTube to keep you built in the algorithm. Are you still planning on doing that?
No, I think that's excellent advice. I mean, you've got to keep your audience engaged. Like you said, you got to keep the YouTube gods happy.
Yeah.
You know, throwing some content out there. Yeah, so a short here and there, long form video here and there. I'll pick it back up in probably March.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I mean, creation is tough.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
like I don't think some people realize it.
It will eat you up and spit you out.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you got to have thick skin, but it's a fun hobby, and you've got to set your expectations accordingly. Like if you want it to be a hobby, if you want it to be more, you got to set your expectations before you even jump into it. So.
Yeah. See, the cool thing is having Ryan. He's got that creative mind.
Yeah.
So Ryan will come to me and he'll be like, hey, you know, we should talk about this. I have an idea about this, and we can talk about this. And I love every minute of it. And they're great ideas. The only problem sometimes is that stuff only goes so far. Then you run out of those ideas and you go, what are we going to talk about? Yeah. But then you have that dynamic of just being able to communicate and just BS and talk.
Yeah. And you probably know this with content creation, it's all about like more. Everything's more views, more subscribers, more downloads, more this and that. And it gets exhausting after a while. But
I'll say this though, and I think a lot of people that hear me say this, they don't realize it.
Mm-hmm.
The struggle with the content creation and the going, hey, I'm not going to do anything this week, or I'm going to take a break or something, is you really do feel like you're letting down the people that watch you every week and comment every week.
The tens
and stuff like that.
The tens and tens of people.
You got 10 fans? You got more than me, Pete. You got more than me, Pete. I got a couple, but I've got some diehard loyal guys. Last week, we called out a guy just for being a jerk. Like, posted just a mean comment.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Gave a bad review. And I mentioned one of my fans was talking about him. His name is Chris, and he's up in the New England area. And I was like, I know Chris right now is listening to this going, where's he at? Let me at him. Let me at him. And then Chris sent me a message, and it just kind of made me smile. And it's like, you know, you should wear that review like a badge of honor because you've reached the point where you now have people hating on you.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. You know you've come full circle when the haters come out. Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So this is episode 200. That's it's taken a lot to get here to 200. I remember when this was all starting out, and as episodes developed, and you know, going, I don't know what I'm going to talk about this week, or you know, there's been so many times where you're like, you know, I want to talk. Let's talk. Let's record. Let's do this. And I'm like, okay, what are we talking about? You're like, I don't give a shit.
Sometimes you don't know till it starts. Yeah. It just develops.
I think some of those episodes have been the best episodes. There's so many moments throughout the whole podcast series where you can go back and, you know, there's hilarious moments, and there's hilarious moments in every episode, and then there's serious moments in every episode. And I've had episodes where I've cried because I was laughing so hard, and I've had episodes where I've cried because just stuff's going on in life, you know. When I started this podcast, I had 2 dogs and a dad. Now I have 1 dog, and I had to bury my father. I mean, life doesn't stop, but like for me, with this podcast, it doesn't stop either. Stuff continuously goes. You know, Ryan and I have dove a lot more down the path lately about when it comes to like dirt bikes and playing off road. And I think it's more we're taking a page out of your playbook because you've already been doing that a little bit more than we have, and doing it a bit more extensively than we have. And that's just open up avenues for creation and content and things to talk about. And it's been so fun to do those things.
It's really interesting to watch the progression of chapters in our life. And now we have so many different ways digitally to be able to document that. The other day I was looking for this face wash that I bought a long time ago on Amazon. They don't make it anymore, but I was looking for it. And so I was having to go back through my Amazon purchase history. And I'm like, man, I know I was using it at this point in my life. So I was back in like 2019 in my Amazon purchase history. And so year by year, you can search by the year. So I'm searching year by year through my Amazon purchase history, looking at all of these things. And I'm like, dang, like you can really see. And I remember those times in my life, like, oh man, I remember when I bought that and this was going on. And I remember it's a small thing, but it's interesting to look at how the chapters of our life change. We can document them.
Especially with biker gear. Like, think about when I first started, when I was 18, you know.
Yeah.
I still wear cowboy boots from time to time, but I wore cowboy boots with like these chains on them, and I had a little novelty helmet and the bandana and all that, you know, coolest guy in the West.
Yep.
And now I'm like so opposite. I wear a full face helmet. I mean, I do ride in Vans, which is probably not advisable, but
a lot of people
little
ride in
more
Vans.
safety
I just think
gear.
about the fact of what you just described. Describes 100% to a T one of the people that work here
Yes.
and what they wear. Not all of the people, one person.
Yeah.
And I would not be afraid to say his name because he's not going to care, but you just described Jake.
Yeah.
Because he wears
That
the
was
cowboy
me.
boots,
Yep, that was
skinny
me at
jeans,
18.
the novelty helmet, and the bandana and stuff.
Yeah.
And I already harassed him and told him I remember when I used to dress like that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The other funny thing is most people you talk to in this industry, Harley guys are specifically, you know, they're like, oh, I had a dirt bike when I was little or whatever. I just got my first dirt bike and I'm almost 35, you know.
Yeah.
So I went straight to Harley and then kind of backpedaled, if you will, into the dirt world. And yeah, it's way
Same.
different to get into it, you know, at an older age because there's a lot more risk involved. You know, when you're a teenager, you're just kind of, let's do it. Now I'm like, I gotta work tomorrow, you know. So, but I still want to have fun.
Yeah.
I had that conversation with Mark the other day about, I think my biggest fear when I'm out on the dirt bike is falling over. Mm-hmm. And I know that sounds weird, but like when I rode a bicycle all the time when I was a kid, you didn't care.
Right.
It was like, I want to hit this tree, but I hope the bike's okay afterwards. You didn't think about yourself. And it was like, as I've gotten older and sustained a pretty serious injury to my face, it kind of opened up that level of where you went, oh, I'm not invincible. So now when I ride, I'm like, I am so afraid to fall. But that's one of the reasons, too, I want to go take a class, because I'm going to learn I'm going to fall.
And I view it the opposite. And granted, I'm a little bit psycho in some senses, but once I started falling on my dirt bike and I realized, like, oh, okay, I'm not broken.
Yeah.
It hurts a little bit.
Yeah.
I might have broke this lever or that lever, but okay, cool, we're cool. So I push myself to do more, and
Well, I think that's
it's not that smart.
but I think that's kind of where I'm at right now. I'm afraid to fall. I need to learn to fall.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And gear technology has come a long ways too. So protective gear is like exponentially better than 10 years ago, even in terms of protection and lightweight and all this and that. So getting some good gear might take a little bit of that stress off you.
Yeah. Well, I've already asked for a better helmet for dirt riding for Christmas.
Simpson makes an off-road line now.
I was just going to say, not to name drop, but they have an ADB style helmet now. It's pretty cool.
We've got those bells in stock that have the MIPS and stuff, and Sean ran the bell for a long time. I really liked the bell. And, working in a dealership and being a bell dealer, we get a pretty decent deal on a bell.
Mm-hmm.
And I like some crazy colored helmets. I mean, I don't think y'all have ever seen me wearing just a solid black helmet or anything like that. So we have a helmet that I've asked for Christmas, which will open up a little bit more into, I think, the view range and just creating what we were talking about, Ryan, the other day with that setting that comfort zone.
For sure.
Going, I feel more comfortable, which means I am willing to probably do a little bit more and maybe push the limit a little bit more. I think that's one of those things that people sometimes they don't think about or they don't know how to put into words. For the three of us, we have the opportunity all the time to ride different bikes all the time. Ty used to do a lot of test ride videos and stuff, so you understand that too. And it's, I was having that conversation the other day with somebody. You're so used to maybe riding something that has like a mid/forward floorboard setup.
Yep.
And then you go to jump on something that has true mid-control pegs, and it's like, well, this is a little bit different. How do I manage?
That's why, at a minimum, you should have two Harley Davidsons.
Yeah.
Keep yourself well balanced.
But if you have two, you should have five.
Right. You always need one more.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ryan's got 4 motorcycles. Right? He's working on trying to catch up to Daniel.
Oh,
I have
man.
5.
5.
Yeah, I have a Sportster in boxes.
Oh, I forgot about the Sportster. T's catching up. T's got 3. T had 4.
I have 4.
You still have 4?
Mm-hmm.
Do you still have the Sportster?
Yeah. Sammy's just shredding it.
I thought maybe you had sold it to Sammy.
No.
Okay.
Hey, I don't
He's
know
like, I
what,
might sell that.
I like
don't know
that
what
bike.
your demographics are on your podcast, but you touched on something, the whole falling thing.
Yeah.
Because I think about that all the time, especially like if I want to decide I'm going to ever make that transition from street to dirt.
I think you should make it with us, man.
I think about it all the time. Like, what if I'm out there by myself? And my wife says, like, what are you going to do if you fall?
I won't go by myself.
Is that right?
Yeah, right.
So-
So, buddy, for sure.
Me and Ryan have talked a lot about this. So Daniel got the XR,
Mhm.
which he's just kind of, for him, a lot of people have gone, why did he buy it and you have it? Dude, he bought it at the bottom of the market.
Yeah.
If we have it for 5 years and he gets ready to sell it, he's not losing any money.
Right.
All the money that's physically being put into the bike right now for maintenance and accessories and all that other stuff, that's all coming out of my pocket.
Yep.
So he's not losing any money on that.
Mm-hmm.
So for him, it's a place to park money, but it's also something that helps create content.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, we had a 30-minute conversation about, I cold called Daniel one day and just he answered the phone. He was like, hello. And I go, I hate you. He's like, why? And I was like, because apparently you meet the nicest people on a Honda.
Yeah.
So, but, you know, it's one of those things where I've got that. And Ryan's got a KLR and an XR. T has a Pan America and Little Dirty, which is a
XT250.
XT250 Yamaha. Now, I think with T, it was a lot different than it was for me and Ryan. I was raised around friends with a lot of dirt bikes, riding dirt bikes and those types of things. Ryan, I know you spent some time out west where dirt biking is a thing. T's best friend, just to call it out like that, Sean, fell head over heels in love with going off-road and riding Pan America and stuff like that. And it was, I think with a lot of that, it was just that natural progression. It was like, you know, I want to do this too. It looks like so much fun.
No, he pestered me and pestered me and pestered me.
I need a buddy.
He said, come on, I need somebody else in the store to do this. You'd love it, you'd love it, you'd love it.
And tell me you don't love it.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
But that was that thing. That's that friendship. And it was like Daniel and I had those conversations about whenever I can get, because I want to get a T7. And when that time comes that I can do that, Daniel was like, well, I'll probably sell the XR. And I was like, no, you won't. And he goes, yeah, I will. I go, no, you won't. He's like, yeah, I will. And I go, no. Because at that point in time, his only experience riding off-road was with Lewis.
Yeah,
Who
that's
goes, see ya, takes off. You've rode off-road with Lewis.
on flat track style
Yeah.
riding.
So,
Not flat track, single track.
right, with Daniel, it'll be one of those things where I go, hey, here's the XR, and I go, let's go riding. And he'll be like, okay. And we'll go out and we'll just take it easy, riding some fire roads and just building up that confidence level, because I want more people to experience stuff like that. Whether they're a diehard Harley guy, so they go buy a Pan America or build a Sportster Scrambler or whatever. I think there's too many people that are not taking the opportunities that they're given to experience this whole country. You know, people go, oh, I've rode all over the country. Okay, well, cool. In the East, you know, no matter where you're at, you're probably never more than 50 miles from an interstate. So congratulations. But you get out into the Southwest, you can be 200 miles from an interstate at some point in time and be out in the middle of nowhere and seeing stuff that you would never see unless you're out there with an off-road vehicle or off-road motorcycle.
I had no idea that I needed that stimulation. I had no idea how complacent I had become with my riding style. Just blah, blah, blah down the highway, just rolling. Yeah, and then you get off-road and you have to, decision every second, you know, and it's a challenge, and I didn't know that I needed that. And once I had it, I was like, oh yeah, I need this.
Yeah. Now, talk about going off-road and like being by yourself and falling. I will, you know, I'll rip through a patch of grass that I know is right next to a road or something like that, and that's not a big deal. I'm dying to go like ride Prentice Cooper or something like that, and every single day I'm pestering Ryan. Let's go ride. Because I refuse to go by myself.
Yeah.
Because I was really big into Jeeps, and that was kind of one of those things with Jeeps. It was, or just going off-roading in that type of environment. You don't go by yourself.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Because you always
Get
need
stuck or
you always need something.
Yep.
You know, even if you are in a situation where you can get stuck and get yourself out of that hole by yourself, what if something worse happens?
Yeah, right.
What if you have a major mechanical engine failure? Prentice Cooper is right essentially in the heart of town. But if I get back on Haley Road and I have an issue, how long is it going to be till somebody comes down Haley Road? People might be on the main road driving by, but how long is it going to be till somebody comes down Haley Road?
Yeah.
So it has opened up an avenue. I think if you wanted to take that step, you would thoroughly enjoy it. But I'll say this because I thought differently. I thought my ability to ride and my skill of riding would translate a little bit more, and I would just be able to get on the bike and go. and it's
That's what I've heard.
It's so not that.
There's a lot of unlearning, really.
Right.
Because like on the street, you know, when you hang a hard corner, you're leaning. In the dirt, you're counterbalancing by you're staying upright to counterbalance, so you don't just wash out.
Yeah.
So that kind of stuff is unlearning. A lot of standing. I mean, we don't stand up on street glides typically,
Right.
you know, or dynas or whatever.
Are you talking about me right now?
I was gonna say, I think
Yeah,
I've
'cause
seen
you
him do
stand
that.
up.
You know, that's not a typical. I mean, you don't commute to work like that, but you might ride, you know, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 20 miles, whatever it may be, completely standing
Yeah.
because your bike's doing this, you know, and that's not comfortable to be sitting on. So it is a lot of unlearning. That's what I've been learning too,
Yeah.
and it's a lot more physically demanding. You don't realize how much it takes, you know, in your arms, your legs, your core. You get tired
Oh,
quicker
yeah.
than you would imagine, especially at first. You're like, man, this thing is. It's even on a light bike.
Yeah.
So the Pan Americas are a whole other beast, but.
Well, I think too, allowing the bike to lose traction in favor of momentum
Yeah, getting comfortable with that.
is one of those hard. That was a very hard thing for me to go. Okay, I'm fine.
Yeah.
I'm fine. And you know, we talked about being able to do the drifting and stuff on bikes, and it's the same factor. You know,
Yep.
having that line where the bike has lost traction, but you're okay.
Yes. Mark
You're
used
gonna
a
keep
phrase.
moving
I was
forward.
talking to him about that the other day because he's been looking for a dyna and he wants to start getting into a little more of the stunt stuff, and he
Yeah.
called it controlled chaos. And I was like, that's a perfect
That's
description
accurate.
of that.
Yeah, yeah. It's dude, it's been fun. I mean, outside of 200 episodes, there's so much that happens in my day to day, and y'all's day to day that people don't get to see, and just the funness that we get to have, and the tragedy that happens, and everything that happens in our lives. But you know, I feel like if it wasn't for the people listening, the messages that we get and stuff like that from people, and people just want to come up and talk. You know, we have so many customers that are listeners that'll come up and say something to me. Oh, I was listening to this episode. That's what pushes it forward. It takes that next step. I've met, you know, people coming through the dealership. I met a guy a couple weeks ago that he has a podcast, and we stood at the motocross counter and talked for probably 20 minutes, to the point of where Chelsea was like, I got customers, y'all just go to the side. So, but we were having those conversations, and we were engaged about what it means to be that content creator. And, you know, for the majority of the relationship with Ty and I, because when I met Ty, I just started the podcast, I've been in that content creation atmosphere, and I've always looked up to Ty as a mentor in the content creation. Although you weren't doing the podcasting and stuff like that, you were still, you knew what it was like.
Yeah.
You know, if I was going, dude, I'm stuck. How do I do this? But I also feel like as time has gone on, it's not become so much of a mentorship as much as it is being peers.
Yeah, sure.
Because I hear you going, dude, I'm stuck. I don't have to do it. I'm like, hey, listen, this is what I'm seeing. Let's talk about this. If you check this out and those types of things. But, you know, as much as it is the fans listening, to be honest, if it wasn't T, for you, Ty, for you, for Sean talking about things, Daniel talking about things, and, you know, Keith Ray mentioning stuff, hey, you should talk about this, and just pushing that progress forward, I think it would have fell so much on its face a long time ago.
Yeah. It's
You-
good.
You guys do a good job at not, you know, we're busy this week, or I don't really feel like it. You're consistent,
Yeah.
and that's really key. Is there's not big gaps in your content.
Yeah. Well, we haven't missed. We've had an episode every Monday since I started this.
That's tough to do.
impressive.
That is
Yeah.
really tough to be that consistent. That is, yeah.
And there's a lot of times we don't. We literally, I mean, what are we going to talk about? I don't know what's happening in the news right now. We had, what was it? The episode, 4 or 5 episodes you go, Heather goes, what is this, a real estate podcast
Yeah.
now?
Yeah. Start talking about houses. I'm like, okay.
we went on a tangent for like 20 or 30 minutes, but at the same time, I've had people tell me, they're like, dude, that's one of my favorite parts.
Yeah.
Because that's when I really start to understand exactly who y'all are.
Yep.
Because we are motorcycle people. You know, for all of us in this room right now, motorcycles are so much more than just a way of life. You know, it is the full consumption of our world, the full consumption of our life. Even when we're not doing motorcycle things, it's there. How do you hide from those things? But we have so many other passions about stuff. You know, Ty, we've had conversations about, like, one of the biggest things you love to do is edit videos.
I love it. Yeah.
It's not so much the making the video, but it's the fun of editing the video to see this final process. Ryan can't escape from motorcycles. He tries to, and then he goes home to his girl that might be a little bit crazier about that stuff than he is when it comes to the vintage fashion of the.
I think I'm definitely, I've got her more interested in motorcycles, but she's one of those people, she grew up riding dirt bikes. She rode a motorcycle before I did, you know?
Yeah.
And she doesn't ride now, but that's a goal, you know, that we're trying to get to, is getting her on the street and overcoming that fear, because it's been a lot of years, but.
Well, and you can just tell that, you know, in conversations with her. She just seems like the type of person when you're like, you don't take the bike? She's like, yeah, let's go. There's no questions. It's a let's go. And, you know, I talked to her, and she pays very close attention to what's happening and what's going on around her, and you know, what's hip, what's not hip, you know, what society look like and stuff like that. And I pray to God that she harasses you about your tassels the same way I do.
There's no more tassels, Marcus.
I know. Not only did
for the haters.
Not only did you get rid of the tassels, but then you put thrashing bars on it.
Oh yeah, went a whole different direction.
And now you put the bags on there.
Yep.
So.
Are the bags on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What at 5 this morning.
Yeah. Yeah. So Ryan put new bags on the Papaldana.
I don't know that you'd call it a Papaldina anymore.
It was.
It's definitely
It
a cool
was.
Dyna now.
I mean, at one time, Ryan's favorite handlebars were buckhorns.
Oh, Lord.
They still are sweet. Arguably the most comfortable bars out there, I'm not gonna lie.
I will definitely argue that point of they're
No.
not. They're not. I hate buckhorns.
Both versions of that dyno were super cool, and I think it's cool that you changed it. A lot of people, once they build their bike, that is what it is. They might add to the platform, but you completely changed it. And I was like, whoa, that's cool. That he's just gonna go in a different direction, and I wouldn't put it past you to do the same thing again. Go
That's
again.
one of my favorite things about Harley specifically. I'm sure you do it with most motorcycles, but like for all intents and purposes, my first bike was a Sportster. That's the bike I had the longest. I still have it. It's in boxes. But I mean, that thing's been 10 different types of bikes, all from the same bike. And I mean, I don't know if it's just I get bored with it, or there's too many bikes out there and I can't justify just going and buying a whole other bike. I'm like, well, I kind of am bored with this, so let's just tear it all down and start over. And I mean, pretty much any Harley, you can do that. You can make it a setup for you specifically, or somebody else gets on it and they go, oh, this is weird, I don't like it. And you're like, this is my shit right here, you know?
Yeah.
And it can be styled any way, you can paint it any way, there's accessories on accessories on accessories. You can make your own stuff. I had to fabricate a bracket, you know, for my steering stabilizer. So, I mean, it's really a bottomless hole of options that you can do, and that's what keeps me interested, keeps me going, keeps my passion for this industry. And it's also something that I can bring to our customers when they come in. They're like, man, I don't know what to do with my bike. I'm like, well, you can do this, you can do that, you can do that. And they're like, whoa, slow down and start over. You know, so that's, I think, my favorite part about this whole thing. It's an art, really.
I think for me, I love so many different types, but like, if I build a bike out to be one way, I'm going to leave that bike that way and just get another bike to build out the other way that I
I do
want
that
to
too
see.
sometimes. Like my chopper, you know, is probably going to just be that way forever.
Yeah. Will it ever be on the road again?
I could go ride it, yeah, if I wanted to. I've been having fun
You
with
keep
this.
saying that.
I've been having fun with
It's
this
in your
Dyna.
eyes.
We probably need to have a side conversation from what you just said, because my lowrider ST, bought it in 22, and I've got a reputation for recycling motorcycles, but that one I want to do a refresh on. I want to hang on to that one for a long, long time.
Yeah.
So I'd
You-
love to do something cool with it.
There's a lot of
You
cool
heard what
things.
my opinion was.
What?
I told you all that.
Would.
Paint it a bright color,
Yeah.
not like a neon green or something, like
Yeah.
a bright blue or a bright red or something like that, and change all the black to chrome,
That'd be cool.
and leave it as a lowrider ST,
Yeah.
but have it brightly colored and chrome.
That's one of those
be
bikes
different.
I've got to hang on to that one. I
Yeah.
love it.
Yeah, but we had a conversation the other day about a conversation that we had a while back,
Okay.
where I told you that you would trade the Road Glide after 2 years.
You did. I've talked myself out of it. Hanging on to the Road Glide for a while longer.
Yeah?
Yeah.
We'll give you a couple months. Because 2025 is coming around.
I know.
It's just around the
I'm
corner.
just gonna close my eyes. When that
I have a feeling it's coming.
yeah.
But if you could wait, you wait till 2028. So you keep that bike for 5 years, and in
Yeah.
2028 you trade it for a 125th anniversary bike.
That's an option A.
It's an option.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or you keep the Road Glide,
Mhm.
you keep the Lowrider S, and you just add another bike to it.
You've got Winnie's number, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Make that call.
Winnie loves me. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get home tonight and she's like, well, I heard you're getting a new bike.
Yeah.
I think my favorite lowrider ST out there right now that I've seen is Jeff Wright's. He runs Church of Choppers, and it's like so far from the trendy club style look that everybody kind of people, they like to trend towards things that lots of people are doing, and his is so different that that's what really drew my attention to it. And you look
Yeah.
at it, and at first you're like, is that a lowrider ST? And like, especially if the bags are off of it, because it's pretty radical. I'll show it to you.
Oh yeah,
Um,
sweet man.
I think that's also one of my favorite things is like you see what everybody likes, and then I try and do like so much not that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think my favorite lowrider ST right now is probably Thrash and Supply's carbon lightweight ST with a 131 in it.
Black and tan looking one. Kind
Yeah.
of.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know that I've seen that one. I did
Dude,
see a carbon
they
one the
got
other day.
lowrider
That was cool.
ST down to, what is it, like,
They've stripped it.
500
Yeah.
pounds.
Yeah. They really stripped it down.
I mean, they cut like 200 pounds out of the weight of a lowrider ST, and then did a 131 in it and did all this other stuff. But like how you and I have had the conversations about, building out when people are going to build a performance bagger, comparing it, what they build to the actual race bikes.
For sure, or sport bikes. A
If
lot of
you-
Harley
if
guys
you-
don't look at sport bikes.
If you look at Thrashing's lowrider ST carbon, I mean, that's what they've done.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a street motorcycle, but it 100% looks like something you could go hit the track right now and ride.
I probably love it.
Yeah. Yeah, and they have a full build series on it too, where they go through everything and weighing all the parts. And
Does it have snowmobile bars?
I think shorters, like a 6-inch,
Still in.
like a 6-inch. I know you're okay with a 6-inch rise. I know you don't like anything more than a
I'm
6-inch
just
rise.
a hater.
I know
Listen
you
to
are.
me.
I know. you are. Well, I have considered dropping down to a 6-inch riser.
You might like it.
I know you wouldn't harass me as much.
I don't harass you that often.
Yeah, but now I'm trying to figure out.
I don't think you harass me about harassing you, and I don't even harass you that much anymore.
That's true. I think it's because you've just given up on harassment.
Yeah. I said my piece that, I give you my opinion, which is all it is, my opinion.
Did you ever tell Chi that she has snowmobile bars?
Probably at one point or another. She's
I've
also
heard-
my boss, so that's,
She's got the old club style heritage.
her bike is one of those things also. That's probably, if I haven't, that's probably why, because you don't see a heritage set up
Yeah.
performance style. You see a heritage, you think like Vikla style or Geezer Glide or some other, variant with some big old apes on it. You don't really think club style when you think heritage, and she went down that road doing something different, and that's what I liked about that.
It's so funny when I see a lot of these bikes and where they are now compared to where they were when people first got them, or when I first met them, and what they've done with their motorcycles. It's like every time I walk past T's Heritage, I think about the front fender. And going through that conversation of a couple of days about what are we going to do about this front fender and all that other stuff. And I think about that. That's the immediate thought. But it also brings joy to my heart because it's like, if I remember that, that's a memory I'm never going to forget either when I think about those things.
Well, let's start talking about the rear fender because we need to do something.
Well, I know exactly what we did to the rear fender.
I haven't spent any money on her in a while, so we need to give her some attention.
It's time.
You know what rear
Because I have
fender-
all this money.
You know what rear fender it needs?
Do tell.
Like a Donna rear fender.
Carbon fiber.
I don't know.
Carbon fiber.
I haven't.
It needs a shorty fender.
Yeah, I thought about chopping it up.
I wonder if a lowrider S fender would fit on there because it's a
Too wide.
little shorter.
Too wide.
You could split it down the middle and skinny it up,
Well, at that point in time, why not just find a...
or find a narrower
Narrow
fender
fender.
in that style.
Yeah,
That could be cool.
I'd do that. Run the taillights. What's your rear blinker situation right now?
Stock. All my stuff is stock in the rear. That's
So-
what I want to change.
So if you ran a bobbed rear fender with the tail light, you could get the integrated tail light from like Custom Dynamics. That's
Yeah, I
the
really don't care for those though.
The integrated tail
I
light.
don't. I don't like how they. I just don't like how they look. I don't think you can see it as well. I don't know. I think I could come up with a better setup.
What about the little micro bullet lights? You don't like those either?
Not for my bike. I mean, we use them all the time, and I think they work on a lot of builds. But it's when I look at my bike, I don't want to put that on there.
Yeah.
I like to get like an old car, like a antique car tail light or turn signal or something, and put that on there as my tail light.
So what about
like old pointy Cadillac light or
That'd
something?
be pretty cool.
I was gonna say, I mean, you could run like, you probably don't necessarily want to, but the old deluxe Tombstone tail light.
The Tombstone would look good. I've thought about that one.
But the
as
older
well.
Tombstone.
Yeah.
Yeah, the bigger
Yeah.
one.
Yep.
Yeah.
Those actually
That's the one
too.
I prefer, yeah.
But I have to be careful because I can't go too antique. I mean, it's not really going to go with the look of that bike.
Right.
So it'll have to be pretty particular what I find. So I've looked a few times and I get overstimulated with options, and then I'm just like,
We'll circle back.
yep, I need 3 options. Give me 3 options. Keep it
I'll tell
simple.
you what I think would look. It'd be completely different, but I think would look good. Would be a dovetail.
I'm a huge supporter of the dovetail, and pretty much I'm gonna put one on my Dyna. And every time I tell somebody that, they're like, "Ugh," I'm like, "Whatever," you know.
I think for something like that, it's a cool look. I think it would look better without the bags.
Mm-hmm.
But I've also never seen one with bags. But I've always loved a dovetail. You know, I would love to find an early 2000s first gen twin cam FX Springer dovetail rear fender, just clean, like not a whole lot on the bike, like a little set at 8-inch mini 8s or something like that, and just rock it. But yeah, dovetail fender has a very timeless.
Mm-hmm.
It reminds me of the old Ness, like race inspired
Yeah.
digger choppers. Kind of falls into that, or the more square fat bob version could be cool too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. That you would have to narrow.
Probably not the earlier one if you got a Dyna fat bob one. The one that had the 2 little
The
lights on the back of it.
I hate those.
Not the
headlights.
headlight, the rear.
I know, but I hate those headlights. Like every time I see that bike, I'm like, ugh, I turn my face because I hate the tail light, or I hate the headlights. It's I don't know. It reminds me of a Minion or something.
Yeah, that's a perfect example. Minion glasses for sure.
So, but yeah, I guess the only thing I have left to say is, thank y'all to all of y'all in the room. Thank you to everybody that's listened. Thank you to Daniel. Lewis started this journey with me, and life progressed for him. And he's still around. all of us in the room still see him. He comes to the shop all the time. We still talk to him. We still hang out with him. But Lewis's world in the past 2.5 years, 3 years has changed so much that life progressed for him. And he introduced me to Daniel, and Daniel stepped in, and Daniel's been such a help to everything with the podcast, whether it's, you know, content creation or space availability or time availability, because, you know, time for me to do this is not that hard to find, because it's Sean is gracious enough. If I was like, hey, I'm going to close my door for an hour and record during the middle of the day, it's no qualm for him. He's like, okay, yeah, not a problem. So Daniel coming in and doing that stuff when, you know, he has to do this in his off time, but he enjoys it, and that's helped build a fantastic relationship with us and a fantastic friendship and stuff. But
I think Daniel's a key point to the consistency. He's been
for sure.
able to help, you know, the two of you together, but he's a main part of that.
Well, I think Daniel's just a key point for all of us. I mean, Daniel doesn't ride a Harley. And how many times do you see him up here?
All the time.
Yeah, all the time.
I mean, he'll come up here even when he knows I'm not here.
Yeah.
He'll come up here, stop in, say hi, and talk to people, and hang out, help out, and do whatever and stuff like that. And he has very much been a driving force. So I've seen him not take vacations and instead sitting there podcasting with me, and he'll sit there harassing me and be like, I could be on vacation right now. And I'm like, oh, I appreciate it, buddy. I love you too. So
He just has a vast knowledge of motorcycles in general, and real interesting knowledge.
we just gotta get him to buy a Harley.
Why? He's happy. He's doing what he wants to do.
He needs a Harley.
If he wants one, he'll get one. I don't give.
I know what he would buy.
He'll
If
get
we
one eventually.
There's one bike. There's several Harleys that he's been like, man, if someone gave me that, I'd ride it, because he likes them. But there's a Harley that if we had one and the price was right, he would buy it in a heartbeat.
What's that?
It would have to be somewhere between like 2005 to 2010. Police Road King, still in full police trim though.
Mm-hmm.
Still the solo spring seat, red switches.
Hockey puck bags.
Yeah, like if we had one of those, like if it was one of those things where we got one traded in and it was just a still of a deal, and I called Daniel, it would be gone like that. Because I mean, Heather's shaking down because he talks about it all the time.
Well, he's already said he would buy one of those in a heartbeat.
Yeah, every time we see one, he's like, oh yeah, I like that.
He's a fan of a Pan America as well, but
He is.
He does. Yeah. He is. His whole motorcycle collection costs about what a Pan America costs.
Mm-hmm.
So to buy a Pan America is a little bit of a different story. But I think too, if we can get him off road more, might be able to change his opinion on.
I don't care that he doesn't have a Harley.
Well, I don't either, but we're still going to harass him about it. You think I'm not going to?
No, I know you will.
No, you are.
I mean, Daniel doesn't own a Harley and still has a motorcycle made in America. Because that Valkyrie was fully built in America. And he makes sure to tell me, because it says it right on the seat. Made in the USA, right on the seat.
So do you get him Harley shirts and stuff for Christmas, or what?
He's got Harley stuff all over his house.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
He's got Harley flags. Stephanie, do you know how many times we go over there and she's just wearing a Harley t-shirt? It's like,
Nice t-shirts.
it's like, okay. I mean, he wears the I don't have my white lightning hat on. It's right there on the desk. He wears the white lightning hats all the time. Because he's like, it's the most comfortable hat. I'm like, yeah, but it's also supporting us. And he's like, yeah, but it's comfy. He acts so nonchalant about it. It's almost like he doesn't want to draw attention to it. So, but he's one of those that will always support. And he's one of those people too that support whoever supports him type deal.
Yeah.
He's been a major driving force
Yeah, he's a good person.
behind this.
I haven't known him for long, and very early in that relationship, I can remember him saying, "Hey, if you need something, T, if you want to work on this, come over here. We'll do this." I mean, he's a person that I think I could call right now. Maybe not right now because he's on vacation, but I could call him at any time and say, "Hey, Daniel, can you help me tackle this?" And he would be down.
yeah, for
He's
sure.
just a good person like that.
It's good to have people like that in your life.
Yeah.
So, and it's
He's way younger than all of us.
Daniel.
Yeah, and I never knew that. Like,
Yeah,
he seems a lot older than he is.
30.
32.
Is he really?
32, yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay.
He's also got a much better job than all of us do.
It's true.
He just, I told Daniel once before, because you've been to Daniel's house. You've been to Daniel. Have you ever been to Daniel's
No.
house?
He's been to mine, but I haven't been to
So I told Daniel once before, we were talking about collecting stuff. And he's like, yeah, I collect motorcycles. And I was like, no, you collect hobbies. Because he's got a vintage motorcycle hobby, or a motorcycle hobby, we'll call it. He has other vintage hobbies. He's got like a whiskey collection. So he's got like this whiskey hobby. He's a cheese person. In case you don't know that. Like, he goes and, like, he loves cheese. He always has cheese in his fridge. Peppers, that's another hobby of his, growing peppers. He collects hobbies.
And I'm that way too.
Do you collect hobbies?
I do.
I do. Yeah.
I mean that I get introduced to the saltwater fish, and then now that's all I want to do, and that's all I read about, and you know everything, guns, and then this, and then that. I don't introduce me to anything else. Ooh, everything I like is expensive.
I don't feel like I have interest, but I don't really feel like I collect hobbies. There might be something that I'm interested in, so I read a lot about and stuff, but I don't necessarily go down that path of that's everything I do.
I think I don't know if it comes from being a passionate person or what, but if I'm going to invest my time and energy into something,
Yeah.
I like it, I enjoy it, and I'm going to go all the way for it. I do that in every area of my life.
I'm thinking at some point in time I need to invest my time and energy into this podcast. I haven't done that yet.
Yeah, I know.
Step your game up, Marcus.
We still got to build out our
200
Well,
episodes.
Come on,
get it together.
We keep saying we got to build out our studio space. We have bought stuff to start having a better studio and recording type setup. Just need to finish getting all that. See, if I had all that, we'd have like mics and headphones and all that stuff right
Well,
now.
More
Your
professional.
your office is clean and ready for it. So,
Yep.
I know.
what better time?
I know. I don't know who to thank for that. You laugh. You were the spearhead. But, like,
Chelsea did
you
a
were
lot.
here, Chelsea was here, I was in here, you know, Ryan and Bill were carrying stuff in and carrying stuff out and cutting up on the desk.
Ryan and Bill were walking by like, "Oh, we don't know if we want to get involved in
I
that.
saw him.
We're gonna
I
get
saw
dragged
him
into
carrying-
it."
I'll pull the forklift in for the trash bin.
There you go.
I saw y'all helping. Don't have to don't worry. So it was, yeah. But you know that trash bin that we have, the wooden trash box?
No.
I think we filled it up.
Did you? Okay.
Why does that not surprise me?
We should have taken it before and after.
She
Yeah.
It looks good in here, though.
I was sitting here like
Good.
going through stuff, and she pulled the whole. If it doesn't bring you joy, throw it away.
That sounds like me and my
Like I
wife.
had 3 totes to start with, or 4 totes. I had 4 totes. Now I have 3 totes. So, and now there's sometimes where I'm sitting at my desk and I'll go, oh, there's no drawer there, and I have to remember where drawers are. But I've been diligent. I'm going, nope, this doesn't go in that drawer. This goes in this drawer. I'm making sure I put stuff in the correct drawer. And I had something the other day, and I was like, I don't know what to do with this. And I was like, it doesn't need to be in here. Let me take it to where it needs to go. It was the remote for the AC unit. I was like, I walked in my office with it, and I was like, no, this needs to go with the AC unit. It's like that driving force behind me making sure that I got it clean. And apparently now, Chelsea did it the other day, and then Muffin did it when she walked in here. She goes, is that little Jenga? And I go, yeah. She said,
Saw that.
It's so cute.
I do. For anybody listening, I have a Jenga set in my office that's like 2 by 2 by 6 inches tall.
Ooh, next time we record in here, we should be playing Jenga throughout the whole recording
That's
in the
great.
background.
So I've always wanted to do something where, like, we're doing that. Like, whether it's, you know, playing phase 10 or poker, Monopoly or just playing a game.
You know, we
while
have that
recording
puzzle
a
set of
podcast.
the engine that's just sitting in a box.
We still have to do that. Yeah, my buddy Aaron bought me that, and I still haven't touched it. Have you seen that?
No, the only games we ever play during podcasts are drinking games.
Yes.
We've done that.
You hear
Drinking
beers
games.
cracking open
Yeah.
every.
It's usually make.
I thought we have an episode that's a drinking game.
Oh, I wasn't on that one.
There's the Indian drinking
We have
game.
the Indian drinking game.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should go check that out, the Indian drinking game. You have to take a drink. Every time Indian sells, goes bankrupt, starts production, stops production, is acquired by somebody else, their licensing changes hands. Like anytime there's a major factor in the company's history that's adjusting the trajectory of the company, you have to take a drink.
We're feeling pretty good at the end of that one.
That's what I
Yeah,
was
it's an hour-long episode. We went through 4.5. I went through 4.5 beers. So, yeah, that was a fun episode. I also still think probably to this day the most fun episode that I've ever done was the stereotypes episode.
Oh, that was a
the
blast.
funnest one, yeah.
That was a blast.
I still get people that say stuff about that episode, and I don't know if they like just have gotten to that point where they've listened to that, because it seems like every day I have somebody that's like, "Hey, I just started your podcast, and I listened to this episode, now I'm going back and I'm going to listen from the beginning and stuff like that."
Talk about memories. I'll never forget your Italian, the Italian impersonation. Oh my god!
I was like, just stop.
Just stop it.
Well,
This is getting bad.
Daniel said something recently about my German.
Oh, the German.
Every time I do German, he's like something about like, surprised I haven't gotten canceled because every time I do German.
You need to do a best of episode. You need to do a best of.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that would take a whole lot of editing.
Yes, it would.
You need to create me a best of episode. So, anyways, I guess close this out. It's been a fun 200. Looking forward to the next 200. You know, I'm not gonna stop this. I'm gonna do it as long as I can. Who knows? By the time this show comes to an end, I might be on my 7th co-host or something like that. Daniel should be back next week, though. Don't y'all worry. He hasn't gone anywhere except for Hilton Head to spend time with the family. So, and his brother. Notice I said family and brother. There's reasons. He has an electric car.
Save that for too long.
Do y'all have anything y'all want to say before we close it out? Ty?
Congratulations for 200 episodes to you, Daniel, the crew, White Lightning. So, yeah.
Ryan?
Yeah, thank you for having me. Thank you for including me. And I'll keep trying to come up with creative ideas to bring to your office, whether it's dirt bike stuff or podcast stuff or other motorcycle stuff, or just to talk smack about your snowmobile handlebars.
Y'all don't realize how much of a driving force Ryan has been behind the scenes with content creation. So, T, you got anything you want to say?
Just happy to be here. Thanks for having me. It's always a pleasure.
Muffin?
Hey, thanks for listening. There'll be more shenanigans. And on that bombshell.
Hey everybody, this is Sean at White Lightning Harley Davidson. I want to thank you for listening to the Daily Biker Podcast. You can reach the podcast on Facebook or Instagram at The Daily Biker, or you can email the podcast at thedailybiker@gmail.com. Be sure to keep an eye on White Lightning Harley Davidson social media pages for the most up-to-date information on all our events and where you can find the boys.